The clock struck midnight in the small town of Ajeo, a sleepy village nestled on the edge of a vast, ancient forest. The townspeople often spoke in hushed tones about the whispering forest, a dense, dark expanse where strange sounds echoed at night and shadows moved without explanation. No one dared to enter the forest after sundown, for they knew of the tales, the ones told only in whispers. Teo, a curious young man, never believed the stories. He had grown up hearing the warnings, but he thought them nothing more than old wives' tales meant to keep children from wandering too far. On the eve of the new moon, Teo, in his usual reckless manner, decided he would prove the stories wrong. Armed with nothing but a lantern and his boldness, he ventured into the whispering forest just as the last light of day faded. The forest was eerily silent at first, the only sound being the rustle of dry leaves beneath his feet. The towering trees loomed overhead, their branches twisting and curling like skeletal fingers against the sky. But Teo pressed on, deeper and deeper into the woods. After what seemed like an hour of walking, the air grew cold, unnaturally so. The silence was soon broken by a faint whisper, barely audible at first. Teo. He froze. His heart skipped a beat. How did anyone know his name? He scanned the area with his lantern, but all he saw were trees, their gnarled roots twisting like serpents in the earth.
Teo. The voice came again, clearer this time. It seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere all at once. A chill ran down his spine. "You're not real," Teo muttered to himself, trying to steady his nerves. He moved forward, but with each step, the whispers grew louder, more insistent. Soon, they became a chorus of voices, calling his name, urging him deeper into the forest. The lantern flickered as though the very air was resisting the light. "Teo, come closer." Against his better judgment, he followed the voices. They led him to a clearing where a single tree stood, older and larger than any he had seen. Its bark was dark as night, and its branches swayed despite the lack of wind. At the base of the tree lay something strange, a collection of objects, a child's doll, a rusted locket, and a torn leather-bound book, all half buried in the earth. Teo bent down, curious. As he reached for the book, the ground beneath him shifted, and the voices rose to a fevered pitch. The tree groaned, its branches moving like arms, reaching for him. He stumbled back, but it was too late. The roots burst from the ground, wrapping around his legs, pulling him closer to the tree's twisted trunk. The whispers became screams, "Teo." They shrieked as the roots pulled tighter. He fought, but the forest had claimed him. The last thing he saw before the darkness consumed him was the tree's bark splitting open, revealing an eerie, hollow mouth that whispered his name one last time. By morning, Teo was gone. Only the sound of the wind rustling through the trees could be heard, as if the forest itself was whispering its secrets to the next curious soul who dared to enter. In Ajeo, the townspeople shook their heads. Another foolish young man had vanished into the whispering forest. They knew the truth, that once the forest whispered your name, it never let you leave.